Good morning. I'm just going to start again. We got someone else coming in. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here with us. For those of you coming on the replay, thank you for being here with us. We're going to take a moment to introduce ourselves, ground the space, give you an overview of what we're going to cover today, and then we're going to jump into the material. After we go through everything, then we're going to turn off the recording and interact with those of you that are here live today. For those of you that want presence, have questions about anything we share today, we just really want to connect with the group. So thanks for coming, and we hope that you're able to stick around for that portion.
Absolutely. We'd love to hear from you.
Okay, I'm just going to take a minute. And again, just one more loving request, no pressure. And if you're available to turn your video on, we would love to see all of you. It really helps us connect. We are super sensitive beings and we want to feel the group. And if you don't want to come on video, we completely respect that choice too.
Yes.
Beautiful. I see you. Hello, beautiful beings. I'm so happy you're here. We've got gallery view over here on Brian's laptop. So if you see us looking over there, we're looking at you.
This works better.
Yay.
Follow the chat better. Nice.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I'm going to start with a little grounding exercise to harmonize everybody to the frequency we've created. We have created a beautiful space. We have been building the energy, I mean, for a couple months now, but really sitting in it since yesterday afternoon. So I want to invite you all to close your eyes. Put your hands on your beautiful, beautiful hearts. And just take a couple nice deep breaths with us in and out. In and out. I want you to feel your entire body landing in the space. The field that we co-create today is one of warmth and connection and safety. So I want you to ask yourself to pour your heart into that creation with us. Oh, I felt that. Thank you, thank you. I felt that. And also bring awareness to your feet, connecting yourself into the earth grid, feeling the solidity of Mother Earth underneath us, and feeling her support. I want to invite you all to take another deep breath and hum with me on the out breath. We're going to bring sound into the harmonization of this field. In. Again. 2 more like that. One more. Beautiful. Now I want you to feel the space between us, even through the screen, buzzing and alive with warmth, safety, and a co-creation of transformation today. Inviting everyone on the replay to do the same as well. Thank you for co-creating this with us. Now inviting you to take another deep breath into your heart, coming back to your own energy, but staying within the field and opening your body to receive. All you need to do is be receptive today. There will be a lot, like I said, of high frequency information coming through today. So I really want you to care for yourself during this transmission. If you need to get up and shake, if you need to pause and breathe, if you need to take your device outside and get your feet on the earth, please, please do. Okay, let me just check my notes here and make sure I didn't miss anything here. Yeah, before Brian and I introduce ourselves, we just want to invite everybody in the chat to say hello. We'd love to hear in one word how you're feeling as you're entering the space this morning. And we'd love to hear how many children you have and what their names are if you have children. I know we have a few people in the space that are not parents and are just here to receive the frequency today, which is beautiful. And please say hello as well and just say not a parent. This frequency is for everyone. We all have inner children as well. So your inner children are going to be receiving today. And through that, your physical children are going to be receiving today. So.
And sharing your children's name is optional if you feel comfortable with it.
We'd love to see their names.
Yes.
That'll help us connect and no pressure. Tracy says she can only be here till 11. Thank you for letting us know. And just feel free to quietly exit, maybe just hand on the heart, sending love to this space. That would be beautiful. Yes.
Meadow says getting up. We'll be on the camera soon, getting up with the baby.
Beautiful. I'm so happy you're here. There was a couple other things I wanted to share here. Let's see.
Welcome, Jose. I see that you're a parent to little inner Jose, and that's perfect. I love it.
Let's see here. The other thing I wanted to say is our recommendation is not to take notes. We're going to provide an outline with the replay. It's going to be in the description box of the YouTube video. But when we're in the space of like, oh, I want to remember that, and we're taking notes, we're just in our head and in a bit of a dysregulated, frantic energy. So if you notice that in yourself, I want you to say the mantra to yourself. I channeled a mantra here, which I've lost.
Everything I need today will drop into my body.
Thank you.
I just saw it on the page there.
Beautiful. Yeah. So, and you can come back. Like, we really want to encourage you guys to come back and revisit this because this is one of those things. You know how you can read a book like several times and receive something new every time? We really want you to treat this class today that way. And you're going to notice, like, oh, I had an aha moment here. And last time I watched it, I didn't. Or, wow, I had a big release here this time. And last time that part didn't even resonate. So,
yeah.
That's our intention for this masterclass today.
Yeah. Utilize it as many times as you need. Yeah. I'm seeing so many people checking in here. Danielle, Meadow, welcome, Stephanie, Katie, Emily.
Let's see some kids' names here.
Yeah, let's see.
Katie says 3 grown children and 3 grandchildren. Oh, that's beautiful. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for coming to receive today.
Danielle has Cruz and Roman. Meadows got Liberty.
I know Cruz and Roman very well. Through Danielle.
Stephanie with Willow and Ethan, and we know Willow and Ethan both.
Yes.
Yeah. And Emily and Bean. We love you, Emily.
Emily is coming to visit next week. Can't wait to see you.
Morning, Katya.
Or this week now.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening. Bear, Hannah, Winston, and Calix.
Yes, Calix, yep.
Calix, sorry.
Beautiful. Oh, I'm just like feeling all your children and beaming all of them love.
And yes, Stephanie, your inner child too.
And
Sending so much love to
grandchildren.
that. Mm-hmm.
I just want to feel like inviting them into this space too. That feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Hi, Carol, auntie of two beautiful nieces from her two brothers, Eleanor 3, Emma 10.
Mm-hmm.
Emma's been estranged from us by her mom, which is so painful.
I've seen your posts. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, holding you in so much love through that initiation. That's painful.
Mm-hmm.
So painful.
Yes. Sorry. Welcoming Dorcas with Linwood, Jalen, Cadence, and Brielle.
Feeling all of them as well.
Welcome. Welcome. I'm welcoming Lynette with Nick, Corbin, Zyla, and Sebastian.
Yes. Yes. Tracy's asking if you have kids, Brian.
Harper is my kid now. I claim her, but none of my own. No.
Oh, we have someone coming in the waiting room. Need to admit
thank
them.
you for noticing that.
Yeah.
Popped in. Got one more in here. Beautiful.
Okay, I'm feeling like a natural transition to the next piece. What about you?
Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. I could feel my field just like expanding to welcome all of you and your children and your grandchildren and your families. Ooh, may this frequency just trickle out to all of you.
Yes, we're expanding the container to include everyone.
I need to do one more hum. I want to invite everyone to do the same if you feel called to. Ready? Also inviting you to say out loud, I can be myself here. I can be myself here.
Yes.
Inviting you to feel
be
that.
myself here. All of you is welcome.
Feel your body opening when you say that. Ooh, I'm opening. I can be myself here too.
That's a foreign concept.
Okay. Back to our professional notes. Okay, do you want to introduce yourself first or do you want me to go first? I feel open to either.
Okay. You know what? I normally would not, and so I shall.
I love that for you.
My name is Brian. I grew up on a small farm in Wyoming as a very extremely sensitive child in a loud and chaotic family. And I was often left to my own devices to try to deal with my emotional pain, especially being sensitive and having a lot of emotions that I didn't understand. And so I really felt isolated a lot as a kid. And my real first awakening kind of started in 2005 when I went through my divorce and I was seeking emotional healing from that. And I sought healing through, clinical hypnotherapy and also just spiritual practices, part of a lodge for Celtic and native spiritual beliefs. So I worked through a lot of those, some mantra work at that time. And they did a bit, but none of it was really somatic and rooted in removing what was stuck in my body. So it like helped a little, but it didn't help all the way. And so I went through a period of then an ebb, of not being able to connect with myself and feeling a little isolated. And I came to a point where I was working with another therapist who recommended psychiatric medicines, and I'd always had trouble with them because an experience from childhood, and I gave it a shot again, and it really disconnected me from my body even more, and that was it's horrible for a sensitive person to be disconnected from their feelings. And so I went through a really despondent period, and I had to self-advocate and go, this is not good. I'm actually on the verge of ending my life. I need to do something different. So I titrated myself off the medicines, and I found a different therapist who was specialized in highly sensitive people and empaths. She knew she was herself and knew how to respond to that. And working with her, I started to be able to like really care for my inner self a lot more. But really during that period, I took up my mantra practices again, and I decided I need to break something loose. I got to do something here. And so I took a chance on doing a 40-day mantra discipline with a Kali mantra that is extremely intense. The book warned me. It's like, if you do this, beware. And it was right. Everything turned upside down in my life. And I finally, it came to light that I wasn't depressed or anxious. I had complex PTSD from my childhood experiences and re-traumatization all through my life through codependent relationships, enmeshment in my relationships. And coming to terms with that is there's so much stigma on those words that coming to terms with that was really hard for me at first. But then I realized, like, there's a way out. So I started turning to plant medicine, self-led journeys at first with psilocybin, and then I started working with a Kiro shaman who also was trained in the Shipibo tradition. She was training me in the Kiro tradition, but she also did ayahuasca ceremonies. And so I started turning to ayahuasca as a plant medicine, and a little too much because I I did probably way too many ceremonies in 1 year. I even took a trip to Peru in that year. But during that, I found one of those experiences. I met Mandy, and about a month or two after we had had our experience and we had met, I saw her and her best friend, who's on here, Emily, doing a Facebook Live, and I saw the way they related in a secure fashion, the way they spoke to each other, the way they held each other, the way they respected each other. And I was like, that is what I want in my life. Like, that's what my life's been missing, is how do I do that? And I had felt a connection to Mandy during the retreat. So I reached out and I was like, I want to be your friend.
Can I jump in?
You can.
I had already like tried to lock him down as a friend, but he was kind of running away from me.
I was a little avoidant at first.
And my guidance was like, okay, Mandy, lean back. That's your growth point here. Like, just trust, if you're meant to be friends, he will
Emily
reach
says,
out.
just
and then
like me. Yeah, Emily was a little
Emily
avoidant at
tried to
first
push
too.
me too.
But she'll find you. Yeah. So after that, we decided, I was like, I would like to just be friends and practice this. Like, I need someone. You look like a person that you can practice, like learning how to have actual secure attachment with, secure relationship. And she has become, like, after 6 months of just daily talking and moving through everything that was coming up for us. As we moved through it, we got closer and closer, and about 6 months into it, we were like, okay, this is going a little further than we this is going beyond friendship now. So we decided to meet in person and form a romantic relationship. And she has been the best partner in love and life that I could imagine. And for the last 3 years, about 6 months later, I moved to be closer, but moved to my own apartment so we could be closer and still
we needed to form secure attachment here, and then form it here, and then now together in the same house.
Yeah, and we just moved into the same house, but we've known each other for just over 3 years now, and we spent 3 years daily coming back to secure connection. Anytime something comes up, we bring it up, we sit down, we unpack it, we move through it, we come to connection. And there's been a lot of ups and downs during that, but there's less downs now because we're just constantly doing that.
Yes, it's like our fields came together, all the shit came up. There were many times where we questioned, like, are we crazy for like staying and like continuing to feel all this shit?
Yeah.
But the guidance was like, you guys are doing it, you guys are doing it. And we've reached a point where it's like really evened out.
Yeah, it has. And when I came here, I met Harper shortly after I moved here, and she stole my heart too. And so it has taken time to build with her also a lot of love and trust. And now we have a home just rooted in love and safety, where we all own our stuff. even with the kiddo, we own what's going on in us. We're honest with her. We come back to connection with her. And yeah, this has been a beautiful journey, layer by layer, unpacking, finding out who I truly am. And so is she, and holding this beautiful little girl. And that's why we want to share this experience with everyone else.
And really the frequency we've come into, because through all the alchemy we've experienced together, it's just been like density leaving for 3 years, just purging. Yeah. So yeah.
Perfect. Do you want to go now?
I do.
I love it.
I love you.
Love you.
That was great, baby.
Thank you.
Okay, I took some notes, but I really just want to speak this from my heart. I'm sure, as you all know, speaking out your journey can be a doozy. So I just want to set the intention to be really concise but potent with my energy here. Okay. So I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, very different environment than Brian. And I grew up in an emotionally abusive and neglectful home. My father was more the abusive end. My mom was the codependent. And I had no idea that I was not growing up in an amazing childhood. I was highly programmed to believe that every conflict was my fault and that I was the problem. So everything that went wrong in my life was seen through that lens, until I had my first awakening in 2011. And that's when I hit rock bottom. I had lost a large amount of weight for the third time and gained it back, and realized I'd been trapped in the diet binge cycle for 10 years. From that point, I dove inward hard and fast, self-help books, traditional therapy, lots of journaling. And while I was hitting emotional layers, it wasn't like I was consciously doing emotional processing. I was doing a lot of mental processing and sorting through my thoughts. And every once in a while, I'd have some alchemical process spontaneously, right? And then I had my second round of awakening after my daughter was born, and her father and I lost our home in a wildfire. And at that point, I had already been cycle breaking, doing gentle parenting practices, but realized I was still living in a paradigm of emotional neglect. And I learned about somatic work, and I began diving deep into my emotions. And it was easy for me. As soon as I learned how to do inner child work, I got like addicted to it. I was just like constantly doing alchemical processes. And very quickly, I saw how I no longer had to think about how to gentle parent. I was becoming the gentle parent, and it was just who I was. And that sparked my mission, which is helping other moms and fathers now heal, so that we can all get out of our heads and just step into a paradigm of walking empathy, walking cooperation. And we don't have to be in our heads and think about how to be that for our kids. We just are. I went off on a little tangent there. Give me a second. I want to make sure I hit all the pieces. So then I made the difficult choice to leave Harper's father, and I got my own place and was building my business at the same time, which, as you can imagine, has been challenging, but also very rewarding. And I met Brian just pretty shortly after I moved out, and then we started building our friendship. And you already kind of heard how everything unfolded from there. But then also what I wanted to add is that this year I accessed the version of me living in the Pleiades in deep meditation. And my channel opened, and I accessed this frequency, and a lot of truth about my whole journey dropped in. Like, for example, when I began facilitating inner child work, I always had access to these loving parents. Like, it was really easy for me to bring in a loving parental energy for myself and also for my clients. And that was something I noticed different from other practitioners. And I always wondered why. And so when this happened, I realized, oh, I've been accessing Naya, which is this version of me living in the Pleiades now. She grew up in an attuned home, and she's highly attuned to her child. And so now that my channel's opened, I can actually access those frequencies through light language and also readings. So I bring that into my sessions as well. And then some of you have seen me on Facebook doing channelings too. So I wanted to mention that piece because she might come through today and I want you to have that backstory. So, yeah. I see Jose cheering for me. I received that. All right. All right. I think that's complete for our setup. Let's see here. All right. For this part, I'm going to read, you guys. I wrote out our mission, okay? And I want you to feel the frequency of this, inviting you to get into your heart, receive it into your body. Let's do another hum together. Beautiful. Okay. Our mission is to create a world where children feel safe, loved, and supported through their developmental phases. We support parents in embodying connection, co-regulation, cooperation, and safety within themselves first, and then in relationship with their children. Today's experience will provide powerful wisdom and frameworks, but ultimately, all of what will be shared must be embodied through your own healing process, meaning feeling through the suppressed emotions trapped in your nervous system from your childhood. Through your own healing process, maintaining states of empathy and cooperation, no matter what your child presents you with, will be increasingly effortless. You'll know yourself, you'll know your child, and you'll instinctually know how to respond in a loving and cooperative way. You'll have access to energies you previously had no access to. Conflict will still arise, of course, but it will be much less often, much less intense, and the repair process will get easier. It's important to honor exactly where you are on your journey. In our spaces, we choose consistent growth, willingness, and an open heart, not perfection. There really is no end point to healing, just lots of moments of celebration and consistent improvement. Inviting you to just feel that in your heart space before we move on to the actual substance. I'm also feeling into something just intuitively here. Okay. I'm being asked to bring attention to a not enough trigger. So if you feel at some point like, oh God, I'm falling short, like a moment, like a reality collapse moment where you're like, oh my God, like I've been doing this whole thing wrong. Like, oh, and like memories with your own kids start flashing before your eyes. And like, I want you to just breathe into your body, say, I'm allowed to learn and grow. Okay, those are, when those come up, that's just triggers that need to be cleared and alchemized. It's not the truth. It's just bringing up shame from your own childhood. All the times you were shamed, they show up in our parenting journey. They're like weaved throughout until we clear shame from our system. Any other triggers? No, I think that feels complete. Okay. I'll make sure I didn't miss any of this. Also, we're going to be doing body check-ins throughout the experience. I don't know if I said that already, but I want to make that clear. And we're going to be checking in with the chat as well, and asking you guys to answer questions throughout the experience to bring you back home to yourself and give you space to express. Yeah. And then one more time, when we're complete, we're going to end the recording and then interact with you guys, anyone who wants to interact one-on-one with us. Okay. I think we're ready.
I think we're ready.
Okay, so before we start, you guys, this is the information part, okay? No note taking. Let your body take notes, okay? Let's just shake our hands a little bit. Shake your hips a little bit. Oh, oh, one more piece coming through. If you do feel that trigger where you're like, the parent in you is triggered, start watching as the child. Like, what if these were my parents? What would that feel like? And like, let that land in your body. Okay. Because that is the thing that helps us show up as a better parent. Okay. Us receiving. We cannot receive what we did not we cannot give what we did not receive. Okay. Sure. So the more we open to receiving love and compassion and clearing out anything that's not that, the more we embody that and give it to the world and to our kids. Okay. Okay, first we're going to go over the basics of how to connect emotionally with yourself and your children. Then we're going to talk about triggers and rupture and repair and boundaries and requests. Okay. And these are probably all things you've heard about before, but when we hear it through different people, through different frequencies, it lands differently. Okay. So just notice the pieces where you're like, oh, like aha moments are really powerful. If you have an aha moment, breathe it down from your crown into your body. Say, I receive this aha. Breathe it all the way down. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm getting excited. Okay. All right. So first we're going to go over.
And I just want to speak into, if you see me off to the side here, I'm doing administrative things too. So I am with you all and I'm with this, and I have another device over here helping to do the admin. So
thank you, baby.
Yeah. I don't want anybody to feel like I'm not present.
Yes. And one more thing, we're not going to check in with the chat probably in between the questions. So if we miss a comment, just please forgive us. We want to make sure that there's a lot of information today. We want to make sure we get through all the information. Okay. All right. Let me get a sip of my tea.
Me too.
Yes. All right. Okay. So first we're going to go over mirroring and validation. Okay. I have a working definition of mirroring. I'm going to read it and then riff. So the mirroring refers to the conscious or subconscious process of replicating or reflecting another person's emotional state, expressions, or nonverbal behaviors. It's about tuning into another person's emotional state and subtly mirroring their feelings back like a reflection. Okay. So we do this through our body language, through our facial expression, through our tone, through our words. Okay. So I'm going to give a little example here. If we're not embodied, we might mirror like this. I can see you're frustrated. If we're embodied, it might look more like this. I can see you're frustrated. Our body's feeling it with them. We're mirroring it back. We're in resonance with what they're feeling. And then mirroring is followed up with validation. And then I'm going to ask, you're probably looking at my notes. I'm going to ask them both of these after. Validation is recognizing, acknowledging, and accepting another person's feelings accepting another person's emotions or feelings without necessarily agreeing with them or justifying them. It's about showing understanding and empathy, making the person feel heard and understood, and fostering a sense of safety in their emotional experience. Two of my favorite validating phrases are, I can see why you'd feel that way, and that makes sense. That makes sense is like probably the most healing thing anyone ever says to me. So I want to get a pulse on the group. Can you tell me on a scale of 1 to 10 where you perceive yourself to be in mirroring with your child? So 1 would be, I don't even know what mirroring is. I don't do that. And 10 is, I totally know about mirroring and I am really good at it. I embody it all the time. And then I want you to do the same thing with validation. Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you embody validation?
Nice. We got a 7.
7, love that. 5, love it.
And there is no judgment for where you are in your path.
Nope.
This is absolutely
2 to 3 for mirroring validation, 4 to 6, depending on where I'm at for validation. Okay, got it. 2 to 3 for mirroring validation, 4 to 6. Got it.
Got it. And
beautiful. Thank you for your authenticity, everybody.
Yes. Meadow 8, validation 6.
Yes. Beautiful.
8.
So what I want you to open to is just raising your number today. Raising your number in both areas. Maybe even half a number. Maybe we go to a 0.5.
Even a 1% increase is an increase.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Every little bit helps. And it's just, we're constantly a work in progress.
The other thing I want to add here, it's coming through, is mirroring and validation for ourselves. So this is something we need to do consciously before it's embedded in our systems. Like at this point in my journey, I don't even have to think about validating my own emotions. It's just happening all day long. It's just happening. And because I'm in a state of self-validation, I can validate the people around me.
And I'm not as good at that. And I will be honest about that.
I love your authenticity, baby.
Sometimes she has to remind me. Could you validate yourself first before we move on?
Because if we're not validating ourselves, it's dysregulating, right? And now there's all this other energy on top of it that doesn't need to be there.
Well, and then we're mentally trying to figure something out instead of just validating and go, oh, wow, I feel relief and I don't have to think about it as much.
Yes. And so I'm sure you can see how, like, when we're anchored in self-validation, our own emotions and energy isn't in the way of being present with our kids, right? Because we're not dysregulated by our own internal stuff, essentially. Can you save questions till the end? Thank you for asking. That's a beautiful question.
That is.
Okay. Yeah, just because we have so much information here that we want to get through. Let's see, it's 10:45. We're doing pretty good on time. Okay, gonna take another sip of water here. Okay, I'm questioning myself on the question thing. I fear that if I say yes to that, we're going to get too many questions. I wonder if you guys, can we trust you all to only share a question if it's super potent and super relevant? I hear a yes from all your bodies.
Yeah.
Tracy, I'd love to hear your question. Because if she has that question, people on the replay are probably having the same question. Yeah. So it's important.
Yeah, I think this is a great idea.
So my question was, when you're talking about validation and you say that, the response is like, oh yeah, I understand why you would feel that way, or that makes sense. What if it doesn't and you can't say that yet? I mean, I've been kind of thinking about it a little bit since I've been, asking it, but just to get more curious, maybe
So what I'm hearing is that you're perceiving the emotion to be disproportionate. Is that correct?
I think so. Just one of my children, I have a really hard time understanding where they're coming from, and I don't understand, and it's really hard for me to validate them in the moment because I'm I don't know.
Yes.
I don't understand.
Perfect. I understand the question. I'll ask you to put yourself on mute again.
Yes. Yeah.
And we're not going to have a back and forth. I'm just going to give a transmission for this question and then we'll move to the next thing. Okay. So what's happening there, and we all do this until we really drop into our bodies and heal these core wounds, is you're trying to understand if it's valid from your mind. So when the mind gets in the way, what we're trying to do really is justify their emotions and make it make sense logically. And what I want to say here, let me really tap in with Naya here. I want this to come through in a really potent way. Every emotion always makes sense. No matter how intense it is, dysregulation even makes sense. Always. So, and then what happens when we validate, when we say that makes sense? So you want to validate first before getting more curious, because the validation creates the openness for more expression. So, like, let's say your intuition is like, there's something deeper there. It's not really about this. You ever had that as a parent? It's not really about this. And I know it's not about this. And so we end up like in a little bit of a digging kind of energy. What you want to do instead is you want to validate and then bring in curiosity. Because what happens when our emotions are validated, we open and then we can access. Like, have you ever had the situation where your kid's like super dysregulated about their shoes, right? And they're like, I can't make you on, and they're freaking out. And then you're like, whoa, I can see you're really stressed out. Like, these shoes are really stressing you out right now. Like, just validate that. Just validate what is happening in the present moment. And a lot of times you'll see them open up. The tears might start to flow, and then they'll be like, my friend was mean to me today.
It's happened.
But when we get in our mind and we're trying to figure out if the emotions are valid, we're like, oh, the shoes and this energy doesn't make sense together. Right? And then we get frustrated because we're frustrated that it doesn't make sense. If we just validate, we're like, if we just like come at it with this makes sense. Oh God, I don't know why this makes sense yet, but I know it makes sense. Then there's this opening that happens and so much trust is built. And then what happens is there's less legwork you have to do. When you practice this and build that trust, then your child doesn't have the freak out about the shoe as much. And this depends on different ages, guys, and verbal expression abilities. But they'll come like they might even notice the frustration with the shoe and get right to the truth because you've anchored in your validation. And so now they're self-validating and that you are anchoring in their process of self-reflection through being curious with them. Okay, does that make sense? Drop me some comments, some emojis if that makes sense to you.
And I just, a little housekeeping tip is this replay is going to go up on YouTube. So if you don't want to be seen on the replay, put your question in the chat and we'll read it out. Just want to outline that because I know some people aren't comfortable with that.
Thank you, baby.
And we do need to.
This will be live.
Yeah.
On our page.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love that question, Tracy. I'm so glad that I chose to say yes to that question because other people are going to ask that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm doing the same with my partner. My being curious with him, he develops self-validation. Yes, absolutely.
And yes, Katie, our inner children need this from ourselves, like first.
Every day.
Yeah, all day.
This is a knowing laughter.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, the inner children.
This is the stuff we do every day. Like you're not going to bring anything up here that we haven't gone through already. And if we haven't, we will probably live right here, right now.
Okay. Are we ready to move on to the next part? I think so.
Yeah, I feel
I don't
like.
see any more comments coming in.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, we're going to go over empathy and attunement and the differences. Okay. Oh, and I received this definition as a transmission. I literally had to sit with the words because they felt so good. Attunement and empathy, while related, are distinct concepts. Empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, often through imagining oneself in their situation. Attunement, on the other hand, is a deeper level of connection that involves being aware of and responsive to another person's emotional needs and moods. It goes beyond empathy by creating a reciprocal, unbroken, resonant connectedness. Okay, so I want to give you a tangible example of this and really bring you into the frequency. So our children can feel if our body is validating them.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what words are coming out of our mouth. It's an instant thing that happens. So when your child has an emotion and your body is instantly dropping into empathy, that's attunement. Mm-hmm. It's an automatic, reciprocal, unbroken, resonant connectedness. Mm-hmm. I want you to feel that. I want you to imagine if you had experienced that in your childhood on a regular basis.
Mm. Yeah.
That like makes me want to cry.
Can you imagine receiving that as a child?
Let's do another breath and a hum together. Feels good. Okay. I wonder if we should do another pulse check. The next section is triggers. Let's do a pulse check first. On a scale of 1 to 10, how attuned would you say you are? How often would you say you're attuned? 1 is never attuned, always triggered. 10 is I'm always attuned. I'm going to try and feel into my number and share it. I'd say I'm at like a 8, 7 or 8, I think. 7.
I'm at a 5 or 6 and climbing, but
yeah,
I know there's moments where I still don't attune.
Hella
climbing.
I'll give you a boost.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. Boosting you over the fence.
All right, let's see. We got 6, 8, 4. Love it.
5, 6, 5,
4,
6, 8.
Yeah,
these all make so much sense too. Like, yeah.
Thank you for your authenticity. 6 to 8, depending on the level of resourcing. Amen about resourcing, Emily. Yes, there's internal resourcing and there's external resourcing.
Yeah.
Which we probably won't dive into today.
And it does depend so much on your mood. If you're stuck in a state where you're like kind of internalized in dealing with your own stuff, it's hard to attune to another person because you're not attuned to yourself. You're not connected to yourself. So
yeah. And the more we heal, the more we notice that we're disconnected from ourselves quicker.
Yeah.
And like Brian and I will notice each other, I'll be like, hey, are you here? Are you with us?
And I get frustrated a lot less with that question now than I did at the beginning.
You do, baby.
At the beginning, I was like, can't hide anything from her.
Love you.
Yes, and I'm in the middle of deep inner child work. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
Celebrating you.
Yes.
I feel like I'm very attuned to my children, even if I don't always validate and mirror them. Like I know what they need, but like Emily said, if we're under-resourced, it's really hard to give them and myself what they need. Absolutely.
Makes so much sense.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, life-altering having another adult that's in his body in this space. Like, I cannot even tell you, like before Brian came into our lives, I had multiple breakdowns of like, I cannot be the only emotionally available human to this child. I'm going to lose my shit.
And she did.
And
often.
I did often. I had many, many moments.
When we were still friends and on Polo It.
Yeah.
I would resource.
But now, like if I get activated, I can go, hey, can you step in? I need a sec. But like when it sucks to have to step away from your kid and now they're not resourced. So any of you who are living in that reality, I'm just wrapping you in so much love, so much compassion.
Yeah. Being resourced is so important. And resourcing meaning having additional adults that can be in your reality and be attuned to you.
And be attuned to you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, I created this with friends on Polo too before. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Marco Polo. It's an app where you like video walkie-talkie back and forth. So my friends and I, like if I got super triggered and I like really needed to step away, I'd let Harper watch some TV time and I'd let her know I was going to go in the bedroom and just have a clearing. And she knew what that meant. But now it's like I don't even have to do that. It's so, oh, thank you.
Checking back in here.
Yeah.
Gracie says my attunement score and my connected to myself score is the same, probably always about 4. That makes sense. Dorcas, holding you, the attunement piece just made me bawl my eyes out.
Yes. Thank you for releasing here. Thank you.
Yeah.
What a gift to yourself and us.
Thank you for just allowing yourself to move through your feelings here. This is what we're here for.
Your tears are sacred. All of you. Anchor it in.
All of you is sacred. Emily's going to hop off for beanie nap. We'll try to come back. That's good.
Thanks for letting us know.
Thanks for letting us know.
All right. Ready for the next piece?
Yeah.
Okay. Next piece is triggers. Okay. An emotional trigger is any event, object, memory, or situation that unexpectedly evokes a strong emotional reaction, often a negative one. These reactions can be intense and out of proportion to the perceived threat, often triggering automatic fight, flight, freeze, or fawn responses. So what happens is when our children experience emotions, we get triggered into an inner child state. Yeah. Unconsciously, we're perceiving they're our parent yelling at us.
Right.
And so now we're contracted, we're afraid, and we're trying to show up solid and guiding and containing, right? Not fun.
No.
Okay, a lot of parents don't think they're triggered. So there's like these really intense ones, guys, but then there's also more subtle triggers. And once you do a lot of inner healing, you begin to notice the subtleties, okay? And I'm going to speak to that now. A lot of parents don't know they're triggered, but they are. We become acclimated to our body responses and normalize those responses, calling them our personality. As we heal, we realize just how often we're triggered into fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Freeze and fawn are the ones I notice to be the most challenging for people to identify because they're much more subtle and intertwined with our personality, right? So this looks like this shows up, that energy of fawning can show up with our kids as like, oh, I'm trying to mirror and validate, but I'm in like a placating energy, right? It's like, oh, dancing around kind of, oh, okay, honey, let's just do this. And oh, it makes sense you're feeling that way. Yeah, okay. Can you guys feel that?
And personality is, that is your set neuropathic response to your life. That is a built-in personality, but it's not permanent. No. It can change. Like as you heal, you create new neural pathways, and suddenly that's not you anymore.
Yes. And healing is like a series of reality collapses around that.
Yeah.
Like you really have to accept, like, I'm going to die over and over again.
Yeah.
Ego death after ego death.
Yeah.
Okay. Healing triggers. Yeah. Thank you for staying in touch with the chat, babe.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Danielle, for letting us know. Healing triggers. There are so many different ways and different modalities to heal triggers. I encourage you to research that on your own and feel into what resonates. Trust what's feeling right to you rather than looking for what works or seeking too much external proof or testimonials. Okay. If you're like, oh, I need to see, like, I need to research, is this the best healing modality or is this the best healing modality? And then you're like looking for that external information. I want to encourage you to, not throw that out, but stay connected with yourself. Your friends might try to convince you, oh no, you got to try this because it worked for them. Stay connected with yourself. And if something's like, oh, I don't know why, but I got to try this next. Trust that. Trust that. That is your soul leading you.
And truly, it's if the minute you go like, oh, I want to heal something and you get in your head about it, you're in the masculine, and the masculine really doesn't know your body is your feminine. That's what's going to tell you, this is what I need. Your intuition is your feminine. And it's going to be like, no, this is what I need. I'm the one that needs help. So I know what I need. Like, that's beautiful. Don't ask him, because he's right. Yeah. In here. Well, and what I want to speak into more what you're saying too. It's like, before we've done a lot of healing, our mind carries a lot of toxic masculine. Once we heal, then those neural pathways are cleared and we can access divine guidance. And all the shit that's getting away of divine guidance and just following divine guidance is clear now. Absolutely. But before that, when we get in our heads and we're like, oh, and we're looking for external proof, that's how we know where the toxic masculine energy is kind of taken over. If that makes sense. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that. You're brilliant. Okay. And then I was just going to share a little bit about my journey. So I'm certified in the completion process, and that modality is my absolute favorite. And it doesn't work for everybody. Like, I've had clients who, they come to me for completion process, and then we need to like try other things because their body's not ready for that or whatever reason. Or we just need to do just a lot of talking and validating to get them in their body enough to even access the emotions to even do the completion process, right? And so this is why you really have to trust your intuition. But even those clients whose intuition led them to completion process led them to me, which then, right? So trust the intuitive process. Let's see. So for me, even just journaling has been a huge support to my healing process, along with traditional therapy, meditation, and more. And these things resonate at different times in our journey. Sure. I'm sure you all can relate to that. I don't think there's anyone in here that hasn't done healing work. Or okay. Actively in.
Right. Let's see. And if something was working but isn't now, just take that as a sign that, ooh, I'm meant to try something new. I've seen a lot of people, including myself, when a modality stops working, it can cause like a collapse, and it can cause you to question everything. So, if that ever happens to you, I hope this conversation saves you from that collapse, and you can just go, okay, something else must be calling me.
Yeah. Don't double down on something that's not working.
Yeah.
I used to do that.
Or tell yourself there's something wrong with you. See, right. I went into another, I can't figure this out, there must be something wrong with me spiral. And I wasn't aware that was an inner child. Right. But now that I'm where I'm at now, I can look back and go, oh, okay, I collapsed into a child state. Because whenever we're feeling something's wrong with me, that's a child. That's a wounded inner child. It's never the truth, but it's a feeling that needs space and care every time. And then one day you'll notice it gets less and less intense, if that's a core wounding for you. Okay, let's see. So for me now, just to share a little bit about me and how I support clients, my process is highly intuitive. Like, I just meet with the person, we talk. Even just being in my field is super transformative. And I have access to, like I said, sometimes I channel light language, sometimes I do readings, sometimes it's just deep presence, sometimes it's an inner child process. But it really, I come into each session with an open heart and open to all possibilities, and just in a state of complete love. I ask to tap into the biggest love available, and may my clients, may all their needs be met today. May they get everything they need today. And then I just kind of flow and trust from there. Yeah. Okay. That was a lot of information about triggers, you guys. Let's all do a nice deep breath again with a hum. Beautiful. And I want to check in with you guys on a scale of 1 to 10. How well do you perceive you heal and alchemize your triggers? 1 being, I understand it mentally, but I don't think I've ever experienced this. And 10 being, I'm an energy master and I've experienced many alchemical processes.
8.
8. Katya, we've gone deep together so many times. Love
6,
you.
6.
6. Love it.
Sense. I also need to leave. We'll try to come back if I can. Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting us know. We'd love to have you back, especially if you want to interact one-on-one with us.
7, 5 to 7. I miss our sessions.
I miss you. Manifesting more. All right. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for your authenticity. Not sure. Beautiful answer. Yeah. Thank you for your truth.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. All right. I feel like this is a part where we're going to get even juicier. Boundaries versus requests. Okay. Here we go. Boundaries versus requests. Confusing the two can lead to resentment or power struggles. Baby, can you close the kitchen window? Because I think the gardeners are outside.
Yeah.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay. Where was I? Confusing the two can lead to resentment or power struggles. So knowing the difference and practicing speaking them out loud in the mirror to yourself can help you embody them, along with healing the triggers that keep your system from accessing the frequencies of boundaries and requests. We got someone back. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to define boundaries, give examples, and then we're going to define requests and give examples. So a boundary is something you set to take care of yourself or to uphold a core value. It's non-negotiable and comes from you, not dependent on your child's agreement or compliance. A boundary communicates what you will do or not do, not what the child must do. Boundaries help create safety, consistency, and trust. They model self-respect and emotional containment. And this is something I still struggle with.
Me too, guys. This is when I
sometimes I
like, what?
Still like make a request and call it a boundary. And I'm like, I have got to stop doing that. It's not a boundary. Or we remind each other, you know?
Yeah.
We're like, did you hear the boundary? No, that's not a boundary. It's a request. So here's some examples of boundaries. I won't let you hit me. If you're feeling upset, I'll stay nearby to help you calm down. I'm not available to play right now. I'll be ready in 10 minutes. I won't buy candy at the checkout line. Okay, and these are beautiful examples. And I want to do, I'll be fully transparent. These examples came from ChatGPT, and I almost switched them, and I decided to keep them because what I was guided to do was to upgrade the frequency of the boundary expression so you guys can feel the difference. We all have feelers in here, okay? So this first one, I won't let you hit me. If you're feeling upset, I'll stay nearby to help you calm down. So I want to upgrade the frequency of that and help you see how you can integrate empathy into the boundary. This is when boundaries become super open-hearted, okay? They're not a wall anymore. Your heart is open and expressive. So let me get into the frequency here. I can't let you hit me. I see you're really upset. I can see that you really want to hit right now, and that makes sense. Maybe we can hit this pillow, but I can't let you hit me, and I understand. Can you feel the difference there? It's like empathy is baked in. It's baked into the boundary. Plus, I added a solution, a suggestion of how I can support.
Third options.
I'm not available to play yet, babe. I see you really want to play, and sometimes it's hard to wait. It's 10 more minutes. Can I help you find something to do? Do you want to color? And then I won't buy candy at the checkout line. Ooh, that candy looks good. I want candy too, but today it's a no for candy, babe. I'm sorry.
Having witnessed these, I've seen the difference between them and seen the effect of adding the empathy in.
Yeah, because usually a tantrum won't happen if we're already empathetic, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because a lot of times the tantrum is a response to a wall, not a boundary. It's just our needs were never met. We never had healthy boundaries expressed to us. So we're over here trying to do boundaries when we never had those freaking needs met.
And it takes time.
It does.
It takes
I'm in practice.
Practice.
Okay, I'm gonna keep going because I wanted to do a check-in here, but I'm gonna keep going because our time. Okay, a request. A request is an invitation or desire for your child to do something. It's open to refusal and ideally phrased with respect and clarity. A request seeks cooperation. It works best when the relationship is strong and the child feels empowered to make a choice. Requests support mutual respect, collaboration, and autonomy. So requests can get really tricky. Okay, I'm sure you've all experienced this because they're super triggering when we make a request and our kids say no, right? So it's about working through those triggers. And like also, like when I work with parents, a lot of times we're implementing this stuff and they haven't been implementing it, right? So there's a period of time where I support parents through like a pendulum swing where you just allow the no. Okay, I'll do it this time. No tension in your body. It's like, let's just swing the pendulum where they just get to say no all the time. And then there's this equaling out that happens. And you'll notice parents will come back to me and they'll be like, oh my God, they said yes from choice. It was so exciting. And then we celebrate, right? It's like I could feel they wanted to do it because they wanted to support the family. And there is nothing more celebratory than that. Than when a request is when they say yes to a request because they want to. There's no compliance in their system. It's because you have built a foundation of safety and cooperation.
And most kids don't get to say no ever. So once they get the feeling of being able to say no a few times and get that like, oh gosh, wow, that I do get to say no about something, then pretty soon it's like I'm not going to resist all the time because I got that need met of being able to say no.
And we can be like really empathetic of like where our children were that day. Did they just come from school where all day they've been just having to sit at a desk and do what they're told? And so they might come home and that energy might come out at you, right? It's like, how can I hold that, make space for it, and then it'll equalize. Yeah.
I see Dorcas say I've experienced this with my kids. It's wonderful.
Yay. Thank you for sharing.
We practice accepting the no. That's great too.
Yes. Celebrating you.
It's hard sometimes too to hear a no from when you're like, I just need to get things done. I need help. And
Especially when it's like, no. You're like, oh, my childhood stuff is coming up.
Jose, you do need to go through the saying no phase. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Learn to say no for a little while and you'll be surprised at what happens.
Yes. And feel through everything that comes up when you do it. And then your body starts to feel like, okay, no isn't as scary. Saying it isn't as scary.
There's nothing wrong with me for saying no. That's usually the big thing that comes up when we're especially pleasing others and things. It's like, I said no. Oh God, the world's going to come to an end.
Right.
I've gone through that, so I've got experience.
Thank you for adding that, baby. Thank you, Jose, for sharing that.
Yes.
Okay. We get out of the flow of boundaries and requests when we're triggered. That's when we risk getting into a power struggle with our child, and we're now seeking compliance. Or sometimes people swing the pendulum to giving in. Like, okay, just like there's a different energy between surrender and giving in.
Yes.
It's like there's a collapse. There's a collapse in giving in.
Yes.
And a frustration that needs to be processed. Whereas surrender is like acceptance. Yeah. And here's some examples of requests. Would you be willing to help me set the table? Can you please speak more quietly when I'm on the phone? And would you like to brush your teeth now or after we read the story? And I want to check in with the group on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, oh, how often do you experience power struggles? On a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being we experience them all the time. I've tried to shift this, but it feels hard. And 10 being I'm solid in boundaries and requests, and power struggles are rare in our home.
And while we're answering that, I just love that. Would you like to brush your teeth now or after we read the story? You're like, this is happening. I'm going to give you choice around when it happens, but it still needs to happen. So you get to be able to give choices around things. We're still going to do it. When do you want to do it? And oftentimes that will help them come into acceptance of doing it.
Yep. Choices are empowering.
Yeah. I see a 7177. And I see it the one just says iPhone 10. Could you pop your name in the chat so we know who's with us on that one?
Yeah.
Would love to.
Meadow says, well, right now my daughter's only 1 and doesn't understand requests yet. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Power struggles come a little later than that. Yep. Once a being begins to seek a sense of self, and you're doing a wonderful job already setting the foundation for that. Celebrating you.
Stephanie 3, and this is reasons I'm doing lots of work around my frustrations. Yeah.
Proud of you.
Great. It's great. It will shift. You'll see.
Yes.
You keep doing you, and it's going to keep getting better. And you're doing great.
Okay. Moving on to rupture and repair. I can feel myself. What's up?
Just have one more comment. I just wanted 2 years ago, we were having power struggles and tantrums numerous times every day. Now less than 1 a week. That's gorgeous. Yeah. Progress.
Celebrating.
We love it. My strong-willed children put it to the test. Yes.
Harper is also so vibrant and strong, and I love her. Okay, we're gonna go into rupture and repair. Okay. You have something to add?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was turning to you to.
I can feel myself wanting to rush because I knew this was going to take a long time, and I am going to consciously choose not to rush this.
That is a good choice.
People can always pause and come back. Yes.
This is not a race. This is a transmission.
Thank you, baby. Okay. What is rupture? A rupture is any moment, big or small, when connection is broken. This can be through yelling, ignoring, eye rolling, punishment, shaming, shutting down, or even subtle withdrawal. These things happen. It's not about being perfect. It's about noticing disconnection and making repair safe and embodied. Somatic signs of rupture are child or parent freezes, cries, lashes out, hides, or withdrawals. Sudden shift in tone, posture, or emotional availability. Fight, flight, freeze, fawn. Okay. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to go into the next piece, which is de-escalation strategies. So de-escalation strategies can prevent the need for repair or make the repair process much less complicated. Some strategies are mirroring and validation, offering choices, asking curious questions that make space for expression, and active listening. Slow way down and connect. Get down on their level. Switch focus from getting things done to connecting. Make connecting the priority and trust the task will get done. This is practicing surrender, which is a different frequency than collapse or giving up, like I talked about before. So the sooner you can mirror and validate, the better. And sometimes, like if this is a new practice, don't be surprised if your kid like lashes out at you when you mirror, because it can feel like a threat. Like it felt like a threat to me when I first entered safe relationship. It's like, don't call me out on my feelings. Are you kidding me?
Right.
You think you are.
Like, don't tell me that I'm
it feels like you're getting called out, like it's aggressive.
Right.
And I notice Harper does this sometimes because she switches back and forth between 2 very different homes. And so when she comes back to us, a lot of times this can happen for the first couple days that she's with us. She's like, don't talk about my feelings. That used to happen all the time, but now she doesn't say that as much anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the safety we've built over time. Like it's easier for her to transition back each time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So practicing those de-escalation processes as soon as possible, because then the repair is so much easier, because you don't have to go, oh, I got really frustrated. There's like lots of pieces we need to validate and work through during the repair process if we lose our shit, right? Versus if we don't. Basically, put in simple terms. Okay. Let's do another check-in. How's your embodiment around repair? You know, most of us, we didn't experience repair. It was like a conflict happened, got swept under the rug, and then, oh, 10 minutes later, I guess we're okay now. Like, that's how a lot of that happened when we were kids, right? So repair can feel weird. It can feel weird. It can feel like answering to our children. It can feel like all these layers, right?
Oh gosh.
So I'm curious how repair is for you on a scale of 1 to 10. 10, I suck at repair. I feel like I could really work on that. Or 1, sorry. 1 is I feel like I'm terrible at repair. 10 is I'm really great at repair. Let's get a pulse on that.
And you know, I've heard people say before, like when they're, you know, instead of repairing, they're like, well, if I validate or what, I'm just enabling them to do it more, and you're not.
You're not.
You're not. The more they build safety and trust around that, the less it's going to happen. You're not enabling their behavior. You're just caring for their emotions, and you're caring for them.
Yes.
And then once they build that trust, they're going to do it less. You got to get over that hump.
And the more attuned we are, the more we are seeing the emotions behind the behavior. Can we validate the emotions first and then address, hey, that's not the best way to move when that emotion comes up, and give them tools and trust them to grow into it, right? Yeah. That we have to offer a lot of grace as our children are growing and developing. It's not like, oh, I taught you how to not, you know, throw your toy when you get frustrated, so now you should just know how to do that. Right? It's not like that.
Especially
like
different ages.
Right. Each time we guide, we stay in an energy of guidance, and we trust that that energy is going to translate over time.
Yeah.
So thank you for adding that, baby.
Absolutely.
And let's see, solid 6 or 7 for repair. Yay, celebrating you, Jose. I've seen you do posts about repair and how amazing it's been for you to experience that in relationship. And I'm so happy for you that you're getting that experience. Getting better at including my own needs in repair more. Yes. And to understand personal underlying needs. Yes. Celebrating you.
It's beautiful.
Seeing
work.
you.
Beautiful work. So yeah, we've got a lot of
11. I always want to repair as I'm repairing anxious attachment. I love it. Yes.
Makes sense.
And I'm not sure if Meadows 7. Yeah, the 7 was for repair.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we've got a 6, 7, 8, 8. Done lots of repair. I've lost it many times. We get more practiced as we lose it more. And sometimes it's say when we can lose it in repair, sometimes we lose it more because we're like, oh gosh, our system feels safe enough to actually have our own emotions, and then we have to clean it up. But you know, you'll find sometimes you start losing it more as you start gaining safety in your own system. So be kind to yourself.
Yeah, like, well, if you've never practiced boundaries, your boundaries are going to come out as walls at first.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can I offer grace to myself during that process and also hold my child's emotions? That boundary didn't feel good. It's a lot to hold and stretch into. It's a constant stretching. Yeah. So, okay. Embodied repair practices. Repair in a timely manner without rushing yourself. Same day if you can. Going to bed with our bodies clear of tension and feeling connected to our closest people is so important. Yeah. Regulate yourself first. Repair is not a time to get reactivated and have another round of intensity with them.
So true.
Acknowledge the impact, not just the intention. Repair includes active listening and acknowledgement of impact, making space for their expression and receiving it, meaning our body stays in an open posture, soft eyes, and gentle tone during the repair process. Invite, don't force connection. Stay attuned to their body language during the repair process and validate. Here's an example. You look like you want to come close, but you're still scared. That makes sense because I yelled. I'm so sorry. And I want to reassure you that I feel calm now and I'm available to hear you express how that was for you.
Mm-hmm. And that's sometimes a hard one to say, like, I'm available to hear you express how it was for you, and then not feel the shame of like, oh gosh, they're telling me what it felt like when I yelled at them, but hold yourself.
Holding yourself and then holding their expression.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It takes a lot of practice to not go into these shame spirals that were really installed in our childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, make space for emotional expression without trying to fix. Mm-hmm. If it was your behavior that caused the rupture, talk about what you're working on and thank them for their grace and understanding. And I feel like intuitively I want to speak a little bit into repair with a small child. Like this is, I'm speaking to like, this is if you have a child that can actually receive an expression of this depth. I encourage you, if your child is pre-verbal, still express with your words, but transmit the energy. Okay, it's really energetic. And our small children can feel our improvement, right? They can still feel the improvement when we shift and grow, even babies. Okay. Follow up with them about your self-reflection and healing process to create improvement, not perfection, and resource yourself. So talk about what happened with a trusted friend or practitioner. Work through the energies. Mm-hmm. Celebrate, it was better this time, and there's more layers. I got to clear these layers. Mm-hmm. Right? Because it comes in layers, guys. It's not like we heal a trigger one time, especially if it's a deep one. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it feels really good to the child when we say, oh, we can even share, like, I experienced a lot of frustration from my parents when I was a kid, and that energy is still in my body and I'm working on it. And thank you so much for your patience with mommy while I work on that. Right. Okay, here's a tricky one. When you feel like they need to apologize and you're really trying to be seen. Knowing laughter. This is a complicated one and involves age-appropriate expectations. As a general rule, once you are regulated, share the impact of their behavior on your nervous system without drilling it in or expecting or asking for an apology. Over time, our children learn to acknowledge impact and apologize because they are receiving that from us. Embodied apologies, I find, begin to emerge around age 7, though this can fluctuate depending on the child's experiences.
Yes.
And lastly, facilitating repair between siblings and supporting siblings and staying connected is a topic we're not going to dive into today, but it's important to acknowledge and could really be its own book. So it's a dynamic that maybe we'll do a class on in the future. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to acknowledge it for those of you that have multiple children. Okay, that was a lot of information. I want to just check in with the chat, just like how are you feeling? Is this helpful? Is your body blocked? Just share authentically where you're at in this moment.
I'm feeling disappointed that I forgot to change my shirt.
Oh.
I saw myself in the camera.
He's gonna wear a different shirt. He's having some feelings about that. Makes sense, baby.
Just want to clear it so I don't get distracted for the rest.
You look handsome.
Thanks.
That's my opinion.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Okay, Jose says, oh my God, wow, you look like you want to come closer, but you're still scared. That makes sense because I yelled. I want to reassure you I'm calm now and open to hear what it's like to hear for you. What it's like to hear for you. Wow, I see that really resonated, Jose. I see your inner child's just like, yes, please.
And he also goes
Yeah.
on body a bit blocked with lots of gyms, lots of feelings, hence block going to the creek to resource a bit. Yes.
I love that.
Nature is great.
Lynette says, love this transmission. Jose says, amazing space. Stephanie says, feeling really thankful. Meadow, feeling good. It makes sense. And Dorcas says, I feel grateful. Danielle, enjoying this connection with like-minded people in the same mission with this and who are really good at this. It's a relief to my system. I'm surrounded by people in the physical who do not do this, and it's hard. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's disorienting.
It is.
And it's super gaslighting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And re-traumatizing. Yeah.
Gosh, all of that. Yeah, because you're like, am I the only one doing this? Am I, then you start going like, what's wrong with me? And there's nothing wrong with you.
There's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah.
You're going in the right direction.
You're just ahead of the game. And so it's really hard to be the front runner in your spaces.
It is. Thank you for going first.
God,
I've had tears this entire time, says Katie. So much release for me. Thank you. Oh, I just want to reach through and hug you, Katie. Oh, thank you for releasing in this space. Thank you for trusting us and the space to hold that with you. And thank you for sharing.
Katya's, a lot of feelings are moving in my body. Sister wounding, yes, makes sense.
Yes, thank you so much for sharing, you guys.
Dorcas, I just secluded myself. We don't hang out with people. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
Yes. Calling in more like-hearted people into your reality. Yes.
You deserve to have more like-minded, like-hearted people.
We cannot feel alone in our parenting journey. It is, oh, I have no words for how hard that is. Okay. We are getting towards the end here.
Make me cry.
Now you made me
so much love.
I am just like breathing that energy through with you. Beautiful sister. You are held, you are seen, you are safe. Okay. All right, we're going to talk about repatterning over time and one last piece, and then a couple more exciting things at the end.
Before we go on to the one-on-one, yes.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to get another sip of my tea here.
It's a good idea.
Oh, so good. All right. Repatterning over time. I cannot overemphasize the importance of consistent growth over time. I've said this, but I'm going to say it again because it's so important. Our children can feel us improving, and they do not need our perfection. They need to see our humanness and our ability to reopen our hearts each time and learn and grow and be better. They also need grace to learn and grow in their developmental phases. So we model that. When we model that, we do that for ourselves. When we model that, we hold that energy towards ourselves, without enabling our own toxic behaviors. It gives them permission to do the same. Okay.
Indeed.
As long as you're consistently growing, you're not enabling yourself. Okay, there's a lot of self-gaslighting around grace and enabling, and it gets really confusing inside. So anytime you hit that confusion spiral of like, oh, am I just enabling myself? Am I just staying the same? Just say your mantras. I am healing and growing. Right now, it feels like I'm not.
Yeah.
But I am.
Good reminders for yourself.
Everyone in this space right now is healing and growing. Okay. I'm transmitting that to you. May it land in your bodies.
And I struggle with this, so I just want to offer, if you struggle with that, not journal every day even, but like journal like maybe once a month, like write down where am I at right now?
Yeah.
Something you can refer back to. Because I forget, like I'll sit and just get despondent and be like, oh, I've gotten nowhere. And she's like wanting to slap me upside the head because she's like, are you kidding me? And then
He always
reality comes
projects
back.
his inner abuser on me.
I do.
When
I do.
ever slap
I know you want to. I know you want to. No, she's right. I do project that on her. My mother slapped us upside the head a lot, so you can see that sometimes my stuff comes out and real-time proof. You have real-time proof. It's true. But it's nice to have a reference like, okay, here's just write down how you feel about yourself and your journey, once a month, or even you don't have to do it daily, but something you can refer back to and ungaslight yourself that you are healing, you are moving. And
we all have moments where it feels like we're backsliding. Hey,
I just want to share, like, there are times, and the minute changes can happen, and celebrate those minute changes. Like, I remember the day that I came out and celebrated after Harper had a rupture and she was like yelling. And I came out and I was like, she didn't call me a monster this time. Like, I'm like, yes, she didn't call me a monster.
Yeah.
Progress.
He literally had to integrate his inner monster because he's like trying to set boundaries and, but inside he still had a lot of anger he was moving through and processing. So his boundaries were coming out.
And then I feel like a
Kind of
monster
hard.
when it does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she says, you're a monster. That. Yeah.
Get out of my room.
Yeah.
And so he kept working through it. And I can't even remember the last time she called you a monster.
Oh, yeah. It's been forever.
Yeah.
I think last time it was half-hearted even.
Yeah.
She was just like, I remember doing this maybe once. Yeah, everything can be a win.
Everything.
Right. They're wins. Like, I look now, and even though we have ruptures, I look at the nature of the rupture that we have now compared to the way they went before, and the duration. Like, oh, we solved that in like 10 minutes, and it used to be half a day.
Yeah, and they used to need my help a lot more.
Yeah.
And now, like, I used to have to come in and like do the emotional work with Harper first and help them come back to do the repair process. But a lot of times now I don't need to help as much. So
the day that Harper trusted me, she was like, can you be a go-between between me and mom so
right?
that we can
and then
back to connection?
Now he's helping us repair.
Yeah. She asked me to, like, hey, mom and I are having an issue. Can you come be a mediator between us? She asked for me to step in, and that was yeah.
And such a powerful healing experience for me too. I've had to hold the brunt of a lot of the emotional stuff, all of it, until Brian came in, and then gradually his ability to hold and support has grown, and it's been amazing.
Done so beautiful.
Thank you, baby.
Thank you for all the hard work you did.
Okay, let's see here. And last thing, before we have our big announcement, is name and notice improvement in your family. Celebrate yourself, celebrate your children, just like we just said, but I have another piece here. And celebrate the whole, okay? So like if you're celebrating the whole, it might sound like this. Wow, fam, way to get out of the house together quickly and staying connected. That felt good. Have a dance party in the car. You can even create a family slogan where mom says, nailed it, and family says, boom shakalaka, or something like that. And it might sound dorky, but trust me, your kids will love it. And then you can even come up with your own together, and you can invite them to create something together.
Yeah.
Yeah. So here's you celebrating yourself out loud, right? Hey, kiddo. Oh, no, wait, this is you celebrating them. Sorry. Hey, kiddo, I noticed you expressed your frustration without yelling at me. I'm so proud of you. Frustration happens, and I love when we can all allow it without hurting each other with it. And then celebrating yourself. I noticed I didn't get frustrated this time when you struggled to put your shoes on. Put your hand on your heart. I just want to celebrate myself.
And that teaches them to celebrate themselves when they do something as well. So that's a great way to mirror for them how they can love on themselves.
Yes, modeling that. the modeling of our self-love practices is a transmission for our kids. Whew.
One last check-in.
Yeah, let's do one last check-in. I think I just want to ask one last, like, how is everybody feeling? How did the repair process stuff land for you? Do you have anything you want to add to it? Things you do in your family? Or just share something that really landed for you, if something did.
Mm-hmm.
Space. Yeah, I'm gonna just roll my shoulders a little bit. Such a win. Stephanie says such a win. Katie says that's so great. Stephanie, love to celebrate. Yes. And then it's a positive reinforcement, right? It's like, oh, and even subconsciously they're like, oh, I want to celebrate. Like, oh, I love when we get in the car and mom celebrates. We have a dance party, and so we gain more cooperation that way, genuine cooperation through positive mirroring and celebration. Yeah. Katya says so much inspirational shares. My brain and body are deeply processing. I love that. Thank you for sharing. Jose, I'm amazed at Harper's experiences, knowing it's possible to ask for a mediator. I'm wowed. Yeah. Thank you for seeing us. Yeah. Feels good to be seen. Dorcas says, I feel seen in my parenting in a way I've never experienced. Thank you. It's been a lonely journey. Oh, yes. You are seen and celebrated.
Yes.
And you have so many children. I just want to see you in what you're holding, Mom. We have one and there's two of us.
Right. Yeah, I'm kind of amazed at the holding multiple children, honestly.
Yeah. Absolutely. Meadow says, repair stuff. I'm just practicing with my husband until she's old enough to have conscious repair. I love for you that you have a partner that you're practicing this with. Yes. Thank you, Source. And thank yourself for all the work you've done to manifest that partnership.
And practicing with him is actually going to help you both.
Yep.
With her.
You're anchoring in that patterning. You're repatterning yourselves through your relationship with each other, which is just going to translate. Yes.
Katie, journaling to ungaslight ourselves about our growth is a great tip. I tend to undermine the things that I do. Yeah, that's a big one for me. So absolutely, Katie. And Stephanie. Yeah.
Thankful that you're recording so we can review later. Yeah, because I'm a little distracted by my kiddos hearing you. I'm so happy you were able to come live. And yeah, I'm so happy you're going to have the replay too.
Yes.
And it's a lot. This is a lot of information. And I was guided to deliver it, even though parts of me were like, this is too much.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing that. Okay. Okay. I think that's complete for the information. Am I missing anything, babe?
Nope. Now it's time for...
Wait, I want to add...
Oh, you want to do that one first. Okay.
This is another really big piece that I wanted to add. I put at the end of the outline because it dropped in. Okay. If you're implementing this for the first time or making a big shift around it, like let's say this masterclass up levels your embodiment rapidly. And it seems like things get worse, that's normal. When your children feel safe, their emotions get bigger at first. Their suppressed emotions come out just like all of ours do. So think about when you enter a safe environment where you're safe to say no, where you're safe to have feelings. It's like, oh my God, I've never had that before. Like, what? Everything comes up, right? And a lot of times parents don't realize this, and then they have a freak out subconsciously. It's like, oh God, it's not working, and then revert back to old patterning.
Right.
So I just want to share that means it's working. It means it's working, and their suppressed emotions are coming out. So stay course, stay with the frameworks and practices, and you'll feel an evening out and a settling of the energies. Okay. And the more you can stay solid in the frameworks, the quicker that settling will happen. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I added, think about it this way. When we finally have been seen and trust that we can share whatever is arising and be received, eventually the body stops tantruming And what's left is pure emotion. That's what remains, is the pure emotion, not all the extra energy on top of the pure emotion. Right? Okay.
And Danielle, I see you. Thank you for being here. I see you need to go in a little bit. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for coming, woman.
Absolutely.
Love you.
And Dorcas, good reminder, especially for the oldest daughter right now. Yes. Yeah. Sometimes when the older they are, the more we have to let them, the more they have traps to assess before we even out.
Right. And then it depends on like, when was your awakening? Maybe this child didn't get the same experience as child 3.
Right.
Right. So there's some extra empathy that needs to be funneled to the older child.
And yet, not to mention the child 3 and child 1 having different experiences with mom and being resentful with each other.
Yeah. Yep.
So
you're doing great.
Yeah, you're doing amazing.
Okay. Shall we share our announcement?
I think we should.
I can feel my excitement is so big around this, and I can feel myself wanting to make myself small.
Get big, girl.
I know. I need to like shake that off.
Yes.
Woo! Okay. So Brian and I have created something super magical. I'm gonna pull up. How do I do this, baby? Share screen.
Yeah.
Share desktop.
Oh, we didn't have the browser. Let me bring the browser up. Share. There we go.
Okay. So Brian and I are launching a parenting community.
We're excited about this.
And this is our landing page for the community. It says, our children are craving our attunement, and it starts inside of us. And here's our logo. It's called A Felt Life Parenting Community.
We've done a lot of work on this in the last few days.
It feels so good in my body. Every time I just keep looking at it, and like, I just love it. So I'm going to read it to you. It says, we are a community of parents who value attunement, connection, co-regulation, and cooperation. We support one another through presence, compassion, understanding, and attuned guidance. We know that many healing modalities work well for different people, and we welcome all. We share ideas without imposing those ideas on one another. We know that by acknowledging and feeling through our triggers and accessing our vulnerability, we are able to show up for our children more present, emotionally available, and regulated. We hold one another through the tough times without judgment, and we celebrate progress in a big way without expecting ourselves to be perfect. And I'm going to share, here's some pictures.
With our little
so beautiful one. There's Harper. I love that picture of us. And here's the membership options. Okay, I'm going to show you the membership options. We have the Mastery membership, which is $99 a month. And it includes, so our community is going to be a Facebook group. Okay, this includes access to our community Facebook group, which includes 1 Facebook Live a month. This is an opportunity to submit a question to be answered by Mandy, me, or Brian on the monthly live. And it includes access to our library of past recorded lives. So we are going to archive all the lives and put like a topic so that you can browse the videos and go, ooh, this is the one I need. This is what's going to support me right now. And then access to our monthly community alchemy Zoom sessions. So we are going to have a monthly group call where we actually do alchemy work together and offer presence and move through feelings together. Okay. And because that's where the real transformation happens. You can watch videos all day long, right? But if we're not doing the presence work, that's where the real embodiment shift happens. So all the sessions, all the community alchemy sessions are going to be on a Saturday at 10 a.m. PST, and you'll have plenty of advance notice to put it on your calendar, and these sessions won't be recorded. So we really want to preserve vulnerability and confidentiality for those group sessions. So only the lives will be recorded and archived, okay? So that's $99 a month. Our Essentials membership is $44 a month. And it includes the Facebook group, access to the lives and the archive, but not the community alchemy sessions. So I was sitting with this quite a bit because I almost didn't want to offer this option because the community alchemy sessions are so important. Mm-hmm. But we really wanted the group to be accessible at mm-hmm. different financial availabilities. Okay. So if this interests you and the mastery membership is available to you, we highly recommend that. Right. But if it's not, you can do the essentials membership and still have access to the content library and the lives where you can ask your questions. And then you can also still access the community alchemy sessions a la carte. So if you're like, oh, I need presents this month, you can purchase it a la carte for $88 and come to that one session. Right. We won't be able to guarantee that you'll be able to get with us one-on-one. So I want to mention that. Likely you would, but it's not something that's going to be guaranteed. Because it just depends on how many people are in the space. And we're really going to be following intuitive guidance about who gets called up one-on-one, because our intuition is going to pull us to the person who's going to benefit the group most. Right. Okay. And we'll probably get to like 2 or 3 on each community alchemy session is my estimate. And it might be more. Depending on the energies and stuff, but that's just kind of what I'm feeling into.
Yeah, depending on the depth of the topic and what you're moving through and what needs to move through you.
Yeah.
So we will put this link in.
Yeah, help me do that, baby. So you help me do that. Yeah, we'll put the link in the chat if anyone's interested in signing up. For anyone who signs up in the next 24 hours. Oh, also, sorry. I want to apologize to those who are not parents in the group, because this will be only a group for parents. So I just want you to know I care about if there's feelings coming up. I know that it would be so wonderful if everyone could be in the group. And it's just really important to keep it as parents only, because it's really going to be parenting focused. So step parents, and even soon to be parents are welcome in this space.
Yes. And I'm going to go ahead and pop the share off here.
Stop the share. Okay, perfect.
There, we've dropped the link in the chat. And
then the other announcement. Do you want to do the other announcement, baby? About if they sign up in the next 24 hours?
So if you sign up in the next 24 hours, you'll be entered into a draw to have a one-on-one session with this beautiful person here. And I can tell you, working with her is magic.
Baby.
I've seen the transformation that you've brought to people's lives. I can attest. And my life. My life wouldn't be the way it is without you. So I'm grateful for you. So yes, within 24 hours, anybody that signs up within 24 hours of this, do you want to say going up?
So by noon PST tomorrow, I would say.
Right. That would be tomorrow would be June 15th, noon PST.
Yeah.
If you sign up by then, you'll be entered into a drawing for a one-on-one session with Mandy. Those run an hour and a half.
Yes.
Yes. So, and you can do some deep, like you can go in deep. So,
and I would be honored to hold space for you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to offer that as a nice little gift for for the people who sign up today.
Yeah.
Or within the
next day. And the other piece to share too is that since we don't have an archive yet, to make it more fair, to even it out, for the first, so in June, we'll be doing a live, but no alchemy session, since we started halfway through June. And then in July, August, and September, we're going to be doing 2 lives a month and 1 alchemy session.
Right.
To begin to build the library.
Yeah. And that way we want to get the library built up fairly quickly, so that there's more resources for you to access instead of starting small. So, and just want to encourage you to go to, when you get into the Facebook group, and we could probably send the link otherwise, but in our Facebook group, she has all of her early parenting videos linked in there as well. So you have a lot of resources of videos that she did when she first started.
And those are public. You can find those on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So even if you don't sign up for the group, you can access those.
Yeah, and we can send you that link, or we can,
you can find them on my website too.
Oh yeah, if you can go to her website where this link is, her website's there. You could go to the menu and find her parenting video section. So that's available as well.
All right.
How's everybody feeling?
Yeah.
Just want to do one last check-in, and then we're probably going to drop the recording.
Yeah, if you have any questions about anything today or about the offering, please drop that in now.
See that?
Katya says that looks amazing.
Definitely celebrating. Katie saying, I can feel and see the energetic structure container, and it's huge and solid. Congrats. I love it. Thank you, Katie.
And I spent time setting up the Facebook group. So like we already have it set up. It's so beautiful. Like everything you need to know about the lives, about the alchemy sessions is all in the featured section of the group. The group is like ready to receive people.
Right. Yeah.
It's so pretty. Come look at it.
And as you, she did such a great job. And so as you check out, it will actually, on the checkout page, it will send you to a page with a link to go to the Facebook group. And you just need to use the email that you signed up. We need to know the email that you signed up.
And the process is seamless. You don't even need to remember any of this.
Yeah.
It's just a seamless process.
So it's all in there.
Yeah.
And then we'll get you right in the group as soon as we see it in Samcart. Then we just go into the Facebook group and admit you. And we're excited. We're super excited. And if you know anybody who might be interested in this, that think could benefit, feel free to share it. We want to bring our communities together. So if you have like-minded individuals that believe in that same on the landing page has our values. If you know other people with those values that would benefit from connecting and creating a community, where we would love to have them.
Yes. And then I just want to add too, since it's relevant, the Facebook group posts will not be enabled. So you're not going to be able to post in the group and connect with one another in the group, but we are going to encourage you guys to connect with each other and build relationships with each other outside of the group.
Yeah.
So look at the other members, connect with who you're resonating with, come to the community calls, and begin to learn to support each other and hold space. Okay. Right. Yeah. Jose says, I'm sad I'm not a parent, would have totally considered it. I hear you. Oh, I wish I could invite you in. Both your energies are so valuable and beautiful to experience together. I'm so happy you were here today. Mandy, I've known for a long time. Brian, your masculinity and kindness.
Thank you.
Definitely grieving not having a child, LOL. Jose starts looking for opportunities to create children, LOL. Love you, Jose.
I love you. I always love your spirit and energy.
Yes.
I see you bring it.
And stay in our world. There's going to be other opportunities and things. So it's not like this is the end all be all.
And love you, Katya. I see you need to go. Love you so much.
Love you, Katya. Yes. Okay. I think we feel complete as long as there's no questions, and we'll end the recording. Jose says, of course, thank you for letting me know. And thanks for receiving me. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let me just make sure there's nothing for anyone on the replay that we need to say. I don't think so. Just thank you for watching the replay. Thank you for being here with us and co-creating this environment.
Yes. And we'll have the link with the notes. We'll also have a link to sign up for the community. So it's
in the description box of the YouTube video. We'll put the outline and the link to the parenting community sign up.
So it can be found there too for anybody who's on the replay.
Awesome. Okay.
Thanks so much, everyone. We love you so much.
But those of you live, stay here. Don't leave.
Yep. Oh, that's not what I want to do.
Stop recording.